Welcome to Sex Positive Gaming. I'm Annie, and today I want to talk about Diablo Immortal. This was a hard decision for me, because the people who run Activision Blizzard are literally the worst. However, this is really important to talk about, and I'll get into the why with you in a little bit. To start off, I should probably disclose that I was really excited when I first heard about Diablo Immortal in the summer of 2018. While I had some serious misgivings about how aggressively Bobby Kotick had been over the past 5 years to replace Blizzard leaders with his own brand of Activision loyalists, I still thought that enough of Blizzard remained to potentially transform the mobile gaming market, just as it had previously with the RTS, action RPG, and MMORPG genres. Blizzard was never first to market with any idea, but Michael Morhaime's Blizzard never failed to deliver a world-class gaming experience. What would Diablo Immortal, the first game released after Mike's retirement, or ouster depending on who you want to believe, be like? Having now played extensively on both mobile and PC, I can say that Blizzard has done it again. This is likely to be the most polished, engaging, and insidious form of child exploitation that has ever been created in the history of our species. Simply put, Diablo Immortal is a slot machine that uses multiple aspects to hide that it's a gambling device that is being marketed to unsuspecting adults, and more importantly, to unsuspecting children. I have always seen microtransactions as an annoyance. Yes, video games are probably worse because of the growth and prevalence of pay-to-win and other aspects of the emerging microtransaction culture, but I never saw the bigger existential threat to society that gacha mechanics and other games of chance actually presented. That is, until Diablo Immortal. I know that may sound extreme. These are just video games, right? But where does a video game end and a slot machine begin? So let's specifically break down how Diablo Immortal is a slot machine. This is tricky because it appears that a lot of effort has been spent to hide the reality that this is an online gambling app. There are so many various currencies, items, and mechanics in the form of gear, gold, orbs, gems, crests, and platinum among others, that it is hard to see the casino at the heart of this game. Now, there are plenty of other videos that have gone into great depth about how the gambling and pay-to-win mechanics work, but basically the most important and difficult to acquire items are legendary gems. You use a slot machine in the form of rift runs and may use up to 3 tokens in the form of legendary crests for the chance to acquire 5-star legendary gems, with the hardest gem, the 5 out of 5, currently dropping at a 1 in 2,000 chance. All of the gear and gold that you acquire is actually incredibly common in comparison. This is hard for seasoned Diablo players, because they have been trained to see gear as the best and rarest part of the game in the previous versions of Diablo. Nope, it is the insane pile of legendary gems that you will have to collect if you wish to progress past a certain point. But Annie, I've played Diablo for years and I'm awesome at it. Sorry, Diablo Immortal is an illusion of skill game, just like Candy Crush. It's made to make you think you're good at it, but it is all based on the gems you acquire and the money you will have to spend for those legendary crests. That shouldn't be too surprising as both games are from Activision Blizzard. Now, if an adult wants to spend tens of thousands of dollars, that is the mathematical likelihood on the Rift Run slot machine, they are welcome to. I'm not here to tell legal adults they can't gamble. My concern is the impact that this gambling game is going to have on the millions of adolescents that Blizzard is targeting. There is a reason that most of the world prohibits minors from gambling, and there has been a ton of research done on the subject. Actually, most of the research has been done on 17 to 24-year-olds, because our brains are not fully formed yet. We are known to be at risk of problems with gambling because of cognitive immaturities, such as illusions of control over outcomes, and poor understanding of statistical probability. Remember all of those confusing currencies, items, and mechanics? That just heightens the impact on my fellow cognitively immature young adults. What about the studies on kids? Well, here is where it gets tricky. Because our species has collectively figured out that getting kids to gamble causes permanent long-term damage to the brains of children, crippling addiction, and generally fucks up society for generations, these studies tend to be cross-sectional and longitudinal, because having children gamble for research purposes is a highly unethical form of child abuse. I guess the board of directors for Activision Blizzard missed that memo. Even within the studies, the evidence shows that rates of gambling increase gradually with age, and particularly in the transition from adolescence to young adulthood. basically creating an entire new generation of gambling addicts that they can continue to exploit for decades. Do I need to go into detail on how this is incredibly dangerous for any society? Currently, about 1% of the population of the United States has what is classified as a severe gambling problem. That impacts mental and physical health as well as life expectancy, crime, and seriously, this could be a whole other video. It is bad. Now let's look at how many adolescents currently play video games in the US. It has been over 90% for over a decade. If only a tenth of the adolescent gaming population became compromised, and the data shows that it would likely be much higher, we are looking at the potential collapse of society. Not drugs or school shootings or mass migration or global warming or any of the other shit different people believe. It will be because of Bobby fucking Kotick. And what about the board of directors of Activision Blizzard? Are they just a bunch of bandits willing to exploit children on a level that we haven't seen in 77 years? Now, I could go into detail about how each member of the board has failed in their fiduciary responsibilities and as a member of our species, but I am especially disappointed with Revita Bowers and Brian Kelly. Revita spent their career trying to help children through education in Los Angeles, and Brian has contributed time, energy, and millions of dollars supporting children through the Call of Duty Foundation and juvenile diabetes research. The two of you have probably impacted the lives of tens of thousands of children for the better, but now you may be responsible for harming millions of them. So what is the solution? Simple. Regulate Diablo Immortal as an online gambling app. Require participants be over 18 or 21, depending on your country of citizenship, and to provide physical proof of age. Yes, Diablo Immortal is rated M, but that just means you need parental permission to play if you're under 17. My 16-year-old sister can't walk into a casino with my mom's credit card and play even if she does have my mom's permission. Neither should any of the children that currently have access to Diablo Immortal. Government specifically exists to protect us from all this kind of crap. Well, that and to build all that infrastructure stuff. No laws need to be changed, just enforced. If Bobby Kotick wants to keep making gambling games, then regulate him, and anyone else dumb enough to buy this remnant of this once great but increasingly toxic company. Now, let's say that you don't care about any of this gambling stuff or the impact that it'll have on millions of children. Do you think any of these current microtransaction and pay-to-win systems can continue to exist if the gambling mechanics become regulated? I don't. This would force Bobby or whatever new high-functioning sociopath that replaces him to come up with a new way to make our world a worse place. But then, that is the lesson that I have learned from Diablo. There will always be bandits and demons corrupted by power and greed. It is up to each of us to stand up in our own way to help preserve what is right. Until next time, no shaming, just gaming. Thanks to all this month's support on Patreon. I wouldn't have been able to do this without you all.